Welcome back. Domain 2, Technologies and Tools, Part 2.2. Given a scenario, use appropriate software tools to assess the security posture of an organization. So in this video, we are going to see the security assessment tools. Protocol analyzers for protocol analyzers. So what tools we are going to use, and what is the famous tools. There is a number of tools out there. So we're going to see that what tools is famous. We can use it for protocol analyzers, a network scanner, and vulnerability scanners, and exploitation framework. So we can check one by one. So what is security assessment? So security assessments help you identify risk and avoid future cyber attacks. So if you think if you have an antivirus software to protect your business your business data, so maybe you also have firewalls and encryption technology, so you think you can just sit back and let technology protect you from your malicious cyber attack. So do you think it will protect your business? The answer is no. So you are wrong. If your IT strategy relies solely on installing an antivirus software with no further checks on training, you are vulnerable to an attack. It is only a matter of time before you fall victim to data breach that puts your customers at risk for identified theft and your business left to pick up the pieces. I just give you two best example. In 2017, Equifax became a victim of one of the costliest data breach of all time, estimated at over 400 million. Hacker preyed on vulnerabilities in its web application framework to gain access to the confidential data of more than 143 million customers in the US. The other one is in 2013. So hacker infiltrated targets networks by sending a third-party vendors a phishing email, which ultimately compromised 110 million credit and debit card user details. The mega retailer estimates the total cost of breach at 292 million. If large firms such as Equifax and Target that spend millions of dollars on IT security can fall victims to cyber attacks, is small business really safe? The small business are the most vulnerable and have the most to lose. If you believe that small business are immune from cyber attack, or that hackers only target big companies, you are putting yourself at risk. Really. So here I would say, so what happened to the fastest growing startup when a hacker spotted a vulnerabilities in a single employee? So Carl and Alex Odell founded a Distribute IT in 2002. The company offered cloud-based web server hostings, SSL certificate distributions, and SMS services. By 2011, it controlled 10% of market for Australian domain names and hosted over 30,000 clients. In June 2011, a hacker bypassed the Distribute IT security protocol, got behind its firewall, and gained access to the master data. The hacker targeted web server, backup system, and the primary trading and hosting system. Even though the infiltrations lasted just half an hour, it wiped out the files and website of more than 4,800 clients' accounts. The attack cost the company millions of dollars, but more importantly, Distribute IT lost its clients' trust and brand equity. Consequently, the business had to shut down its operation the same year. The Distribute IT industry proves why periodically testing for vulnerabilities is so important. It also calls for strong incident response plans, data backup measures, and security awareness training for employees. If you are thinking case of Distribute IT is an exception, consider this the three of what I say, the 62% of cyber attack target small business because their systems are easier to infiltrate. The second one is 1 in 3 small business have no control in place to prevent hacks. 16% of small business conduct a security assessment only after breach. The average cost of data breach for SMBs is between $36,000 and between $50,000 and $50,000. But the total cost could be more than fracturings in related costs such as fines, forensic examination charge, and loss of cliently, etc. So let's go for the tools. Protocol analyzer. So for protocol analysis, it is an indispensable tool for an embedded system engineer. So they allow engineers to gain insight into USB, I2C, SPI, CAN, etc. data that travels over the communication channel or bus. Some devices capture this information, that display it post-capture, while other display the data in real time is it transmitting. So it is easy to understand why protocol analyzers are so important in the world of embedded designs, development and debugging process. So protocol analyzers works by capturing the data across on the communication bus in embedded system. With the help of protocol analyzer, engineers and developers can design, debug and test their designs through the entire development life cycle of the hardware product. Protocol analyzer is intended for use with the specific serial or parallel bus architecture. Quite often, these devices are also known as bus analyzers or network analyzers. They can also be used for analyzing network traffic on LAN, PAN, and even wireless networks. With the help of protocol analyzer, you can monitor bus data continuously and decode it. The captured data can then be interpreted to generate actionable reports and display useful information to the embedded engineering. So you can see that the Wireshark is one of the famous ones, a very useful tool. So there is a link, the cheat code, the cheat sheet, you can find it in the screen. You can see here the Station X website. So that will be help to understand, very easy to memorize all the comments, everything. So second one is a network scanner. So network scanner is a software tool used for diagnostic and investigative purpose to find and categorize what device are running on a on a network. Typically, the users input a range of IP address into the tool to be scanned, and the scanner moves through the list sequentially, determine if there is an active device present on each given IP address. One such a tool that is commonly used by cybersecurity professionals is NetworkMapper. So, and then SolarWinds. So you can see that in NetworkMapper we can talk about this next slides. So in this video we're going to the SolarWinds. So normally the SolarWinds, you can get a lot of benefits if you use that. There is a free version also is there, so you can also try download and check it. So you should know, so what happened on your networks, what's happening on your network, and the network enumerations. So this will help us to secure the company, because the network scanner is important element is this arsenals of the network administrator as well as the penetration tester. It allows the user to map the network and its topology as well as to find the device that would be hard to find manually. It allows a security analyst or pen tester to find device on the network that could be likely appropriate to use the begin a breach into the network. Okay. Nmapper. So the NMapper is a is a short form of a network mapper. So is a network discovery and security auditing tool. It is known for its simple and easy to remember flags that provide powerful scanning options. Nmap is widely used by network administrators scan for open port and services, discover service along with their version, discover service along with their versions, guess the operating systems running on the target machines, get accurate packet routes to the target machines, monitoring host. According to the official Nmap websites, Nmap is a free and open source utility for network discovery and security auditing. Many system and network administrators also find it useful for tasks such as network inventory, managing service upgrade schedule, and monitoring host or service uptime. Nmap uses raw IP packet in novel ways to determine what hosts are available on the network, what service, example the application name and versions those hosts are offering, what operating system they are running, so what type of packet filters firewalls are in use, and dozens of the characters. It was designed to rapidly scan large network but works fine against a single host. Nmap scan types. So a variety of scan can be performed using Nmap. So I can explain shortly. I can explain here. So I can give a brief explanation here. So TCP scan. A TCP scan is generally used to check and complete a three-way handshake between you and a chosen target system. So a TCP scan is generally very noisy and can be detected with almost little to no effort. So this is noisy because the service can log the sender IP address and might trigger intrusion detection system IDS. Then second one's a UDP scan. So UDP scan are used to check whether there is any UDP port up and listening for incoming requests on the target machines. Unlike the TCP, UDP has no mechanism to respond with a positive acknowledgement, so there is always a chance for a false positive in the scanning result. However, UDP scans are used to reveal Trojan horse that might be running on UDP ports, or even reveal hidden RPC services. So this type of scan tends to quite slow because machines in general tend to slow down their response to the kind of traffic as precautionary measure. Sync scan. Third one is sync scan. You can call it SYN scan. Okay, synchronized scan. So this is another form of TCP scan. So the difference is, unlike a normal TCP scan, Nmap itself crafts a sync packet, which is the first packet that is sent to establish a TCP connections. What is important to note here is that the connection is never formed, rather the response to the specifically crafted packet are analyzed by Nmap to produce scan results. Fourth one, acknowledgement scan, ACK scan. So the ACK scan are used to determine whether a particular port is filtered or not. So this proves to be extremely helpful when try to probe for firewalls their existing set of rules. Simple packet filters will allow established connections. A more sophisticated stateful firewall might not. And then fifth one is FIN scan, FIN scan. So also a stealthy scan, so like a sync scan, but sends a TCP FIN packet instead. Most but not all computers will send a reset or RST packet back if they get it input. So the FIN scan can show false positives and negatives, but it may get under the radar of some IDS programs and other countermeasures. Null scan. Null scans are extremely stealthy scan, and what they do is the name suggests. So they set all the header fields to null. generally there is not a valid packet, and a few targeted will not know how to deal with such a packet. Such target are generally some version of Windows, and scanning them with null packet may end up producing unreliable results. On the other hand, when a system is not running Windows, this can be used an effective way to get though. And then other one is a XMAS scan, and other one is a RPC scan, and then ideal scan. So there's a some important scan, so you can also Google it. So normally the XMAS scan is just like a null scan. So these are also stealthy in nature. Computer running Windows will not respond to XMAS scans due to their way the TCP stack is implemented. So this scan derives its name from the set of flags that are turned on within the packet that is sent out of scanning. So XMAS scans are used to manipulate PSH, UDGE, and FIN flags that can be found in the TCP header. So and then RPC scan is ideal scan. So you can also just Google it to find more information about this. So we can see here the examples of nmap commands. So most use case you can just play around with this. So in this screen, in this page, you can see that there's a various commands. It's just more frequent the people using. So there is an some important command also is there. So you can just Google it to find that. You just go to the nmap website to find more information about the commands. We will have a lab session also, so we will just play around with that. So I will show you how to use that command to get the result. So we will have, so later on video I will post that video, I mean the practice lab videos. Network scanner for smartphone. So this one, network scanners for smartphones help you find out which device are connected to your Wi-Fi, what is the use of scan IP allocations and ports, are there suspicious vulnerability or security issues within the network. So you can just install it. You can see all the features, because it's the main purpose is analyze so where you connected, so what port is used, so those kind of informations. This is the helps to find the suspicious vulnerabilities. So vulnerability scanner. So what is vulnerability scanner? Software utility that scans a range of IP address and tests for the presence of known vulnerabilities in software configuring and accessible services, relies upon database of known vulnerabilities. So your vulnerability scan is an automated technology that attempts to identify vulnerabilities in your environment. A scan involves using a tool such as you can see that examples Nessus, OpenPass, Nextpost Community Edition. So if you don't see that, OpenPass I already shown in my previous practice lab, so you can also check that. So Nessus also is one of the popular one. Nessus or Colis is a very famous one. So okay, a scan involves using tools such as Nessus or Colis to run through a long list of checks to determine if you are affected by the vulnerabilities in the respective database. This is also one of the first steps to a penetration test. The tool will probe the service running on all internal and external assets and identify the associated risk for each asset. So there is a few steps of conducting vulnerability scans, information gathering, discovering vulnerability scanning, so reporting. Normally, so before you scan, any scan can begin, an asset inventory is needed for your environment. If an asset inventory tools doesn't exist, you may need to do a sweep of your network to identify live asset. Once the assets have been identified, the vulnerability scan will begin by simply aiming the scanner at them. There is a three major role, the 3 steps. Information gathering, so identify host and restricted host. Discovery, the second one is a discovery and vulnerability scanning. Comprehensive port scanning, fingerprint of service and applications, utilize of automated scanning tools and technology, identify publicly known operating systems and application vulnerabilities. Third one is a reporting. So reporting means draft and executive summary detail the overall state of environment. So you can play around the listed tools and Nessus, OpenPass. You can try the free trial version, and you can also just play around with that. You'll get more knowledge. OpenPass. What is OpenPass? Was overzap. Why do you need to choose the overzap? Overzap is normally it is designed to be used by people with a wide range of security experience, and such as the ideal of developer and functional tester who are new to the pen testing. Zap is cross platform. What it does to create a proxy between the client and your website. So while you navigate through all the feature of your website, it captures all the action. Then it attacks your website with the known technique. So it is open source. So you can also go to the page, the OWASP page. OWASP page, you will see. Just Google it. You can get the direct download links. You can just play around with that. So normally you need when you're setting up your Zap environments, you need a Java 8 plus and installer, because in order to install Zap, you need to install the Java 8 plus to your Windows or Linux machine. It must. If you are using Mac, you don't need Java as it's already installed. So then you can see there is a few features: the passive scan, active scan. So normally the passive scan is in terms of pen test. A passive scan is a harmless test that looks only for response and checks them against known vulnerabilities. Passive scan doesn't modify your website data, so it is really safe for the website that we don't have permissions. As you know, the OWASP number 1 vulnerabilities in 2018 is still injections. So, and be aware that you cannot detect even SQL injection with the passive scan. So that is a passive scan features, and then the explanations. So active scan is an attack that a website using known technique to find the vulnerabilities. Active scan does modify data and can insert malicious script to website. So when you really test your website against security issue, deploy it to your new environment, run the active scan, and only run the active scan for the sites you have permissions. So we can go for next, exploitations framework. So exploitations framework, so it's used for pen tester, and risk assessment framework consists a set of exploits for known vulnerabilities. So exploit framework are supported software package that contain reliable exploit models and other useful features such as agent used for successfully repositioning. So meaning so this framework allow you to use the different exploit payloads and other unique options to obfuscate shellcodes and network traffic in order to avoid detections. So the most exploitation framework used by security consultant hacker today is Metasploit, Canvas, and Core Impact. So the unique features aspect of this framework are discussed here. So along with the other features and add-ons included in including There's a few add-ons out there, so you can also just play around with that. Just download and play around with that. So Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is a debian derived. So the Kali Linux is one of the best open source security package of the ethical hacker, containing a set of tools divided by category. So Kali Linux can be installed in machine as a operating system. So the Kali Linux you can run from a hard disk, live CD or live USB. So it is some supported platform of the Metasploit project, Metasploit framework, tools, as I said, the number of tools. So social engineering tools. So once you install the Kali Linux, is a free version. So I will post a different video. So how to install the Kali Linux, how to download, how to install the Kali Linux, and then how to use the tools, everything I will post a different video. So you will get more idea on this. So we are going to see here. So social engineering toolkit. Social engineering toolkits, a set, is an open source pen testing framework designed for social engineering. So set has a, the social engineering toolkit set has a number of custom attack vectors that allow you to make a believable attack in a fraction of time. So this kind of tools use human behaviors to trick them to attack vectors. You can download the tools once you install that Kali Linux. So you can try this set tools. So is something is don't try hacking the friends or your ex-girl. So just create the dummy account of social engineering, so you can just play around with the tools. Metasploit. So Metasploit is a best tool. So one of the best tools. So you can see that how does it work, the Metasploit. So normally the payload, exploit, encoder, knobs, you can see on the bottom. In the bottom you can see the modules or in the above of the category. So it goes to that MSF base. The flow is going to MSF core and the regs. So then it should work as a library, is combined as a library. Then the interface is a console, command line, web users. They're trying the command get it from MSF base. So there is a tool in the Git app. So you can just download and try around that. So the Metasploit project is a computer security project. So this one it provides information about the security vulnerabilities and aids in pen test and idea signature developments. So it's all about the vulnerabilities and pen test. So if you use these tools, is very useful for that pen test. And the wireless scanner. So the wireless scanner is all about gather informations about Wi-Fi networks, detect access points, rogues or valids, and break encryptions keys. So the famous one, Aircrack. So you can see the number of tools they are using: aerodumps, kismets, net stumblers, wistumblers, ion, SSI dear. So the famous one is Aircrack. So what I tried. So Aircrack is one of the most powerful wireless password cracking tools, which you can use for 802.11, the standard one. So the Aircrack uses the best algorithm to recover wireless password by capturing packets. Once enough packets have been gathered, it tries to recover the password. To make the attacker faster, it implements a standard FMS attack with some optimization. Normally, the company has a tool offering an online tutorial. So when you can learn how to install and use these tools to crack wireless passwords. So it comes as a Linux distribution as well, and VMware image options. You can use any of these. It supports most of the wireless adapters and it's almost guaranteed to work. If you are using a Linux distribution, the only drawback of the tool is that it requires deeper knowledge of Linux. If you are not comfortable with the Linux, you will find it hard to use the tool. In case, try live CD or VMware image. A VMware image needs less knowledge, but it only works with limited set of hosts or host OS. So, and only USB devices are supported. So before you start using the tool, confirm that the wireless card can inject packets. Then start web cracking. I mean the WEP, web. So you can also go to the online. There's a lot of tutorial there. So I will also show you the lab, the practice labs, how to use the tools, everything. Then after that, configurations compliance. What is the configuration compliance? So now the Nessus is a famous tool. So there's a tools the Microsoft provided. You can also try download the free versions, the baseline configuration, so you can play around with that. So we can talk about the Nessus. Nessus is a very famous one. So Nessus can perform vulnerability scans of a network service as well as log in to server to discover any missing patches. However, a lack of vulnerability doesn't mean the servers are configured correctly or compliance with the particular stand. The advantage of using Nessus to perform vulnerability scan and compliance audits is that all of these data can be obtained at the one time. Knowing how a server is configured, how it's patched, and what vulnerabilities are present can help determine measures to mitigate risk. At a higher level, if this information is aggregated for entire network or asset classes, security and risk can be analyzed globally. So these allow auditors and network managers to spot trend in non-compliant systems and adjust control to fix this on a large scale. So, banner grabbing, a technique to identify operating systems, applications and services on the system. Narrow vulnerability searches. So why banner grabbing? Banner grabbing allows an attacker to discover network hosts and running service with the version on the open port, and moreover operating system so that he can exploit, he or she can exploit the remote host. So in the Kali, there is a number of tools there. You can also use the whatverb, curl, wget, netcat. What we see here is NC. NC is a netcat. Nikto, nmap, Dimitri. So you can also try the banner grabbing over burp suit. There's other tool. Banner grabbing using a netcraft. So normally the grabbing a banner is the first and apparently the most important phase in both the offensive and defensive pen testing environment. There is also types of the banner grabbing: active banner grabbing and passive banner grabbing, as I said before. You can Google it to find more information of how to use the banner grabbing using Kali Linux. Password crackers. used to disclose password and accesses password strength. Online password cracking tools enable you to type in the hash and get the password written in plain text. So examples, the number of tools is there. So Brutus, Cain and Abel, John the Rippers, THC Hydra. I like the the second and third, Cain and Abel, John the Ripper. So the John the Ripper is a free password hacking. This all are the free password cracking software tool. So the originally developed for Unix, John the Ripper is originally developed for the Unix operating system. It can run on 15 different platforms. So normally the John the Ripper works by using the directory method favored by attacker as the easiest way to guess a password. So it takes text string samples from a word list using a common dictionary. So differentiator means it is a free tool that easy, as I said before, so you can play around with that. So what is Honeypot? So system or network exposed to capture malicious activity, gather investigation evidence, study attack strategies. The Honeypot it's a definition Honeypot definition. So one Honeypot definitions comes from the world of espionage, where Mata Harris Tale spies who use a romantic relationship as a way to steal secrets or describe as setting a honeypot. Often our enemy spy is compromised by a honey trap and then blackmailed to hand over everything she knows. So in computer security terms, a cyber honeypot works in a similar way. Biting a trap for hackers, it is graphical computer systems that is intended to attack cyber attacks like a decoy. So it mimics a target for hackers and uses their intrusion attempt to gain information about cyber criminals and the way they are operating, or it distract them from other targets. How does it work? So the honeypot looks like a real computer system, so with application and data and fooling cyber criminals into thinking it's a legitimate target. For example, a honeypot could mimic a company customers' billing systems, a frequent target of attack for criminal who want to find credit card numbers. Once the hacker are in, they can be tracked and their behavior assessed for clues on how to make the real network more secure. Honeypots are made attractive to attackers by building in deliberate security vulnerabilities. For instance, a honeypot might have ports that respond to port scan or weak password vulnerabilities. Port might be left open to entice attackers into honeypot's environment rather than the more secure live network. A honeypot is not set up to address a specific problem like a firewall or antivirus. Instead, it is an information tool that can help you understand existing threats to your business and spot the emergency of new threats. With the intelligence obtained from a honeypot, security effort can be prioritized and focused. There are the different types of honeypot. You can also find more information in Google. So just Google different types of honeypots. How does it work? So something like that. So you'll get there's a different types. I would say that few. So email traps, a decoy database, a malware honeypot, a spider honeypot. So there's 4 major playing the role. So you can go to the website to see that more information. And then steganographic, it means it's hidden writing, hidden message, hiding messages in the image picture, often other media. So that unintended recipients are not even aware of any message, so normal people cannot find that hidden message. It approach the least significant bit insertions, masking and filtering algorithm and transformations. Common steganographic tools includes OpenPass, camouflage, stick hide, or stick. So you can also find more information how to decrypt the steganographic tools. So there is also online tool out there. Data sanitization tools. So sanitization is the process of removing contents from a device or media. So examples are dbans, PC wipe, cryptographic arrays. So dban. So dban is one of the famous one. So the name is a Dorky, according to Wikipedia, is a Doric boot and nuke, also known as dban. The program is designed. It's a free version. It's a free and open source project hosted on SourceForge. So the program is designed to securely erase a hard disk until its data is permanently removed and no longer recoverable, which is achieved by overwriting the data with the pseudorandom numbers generated by the machine twisters or ISA. This is a technique. So we can use for the dban. So you can find more information, the tool, how does it work, everything. So BC wipe. So BC wipe is also one of the major roles. So is normally the same process they are doing. So BC wipe is a file shutters tools, selectively remove all traces of unwanted files beyond recovery. So BC wipe can wipe files, folders, data, remnants, wipes, free spaces, wipe file slake spaces. There's a number of features out there, the BC wipe. Okay, then command line tools, some of them you might know, so how to use it. So these all are the very frequent, the more common one. So you can just play around. So how to use a man command is a very helpful, user friendly. So what if you don't know about that, what is ping, so you can just type man and ping. You can, if you don't know what is netstat, so you can use a man netstat, so something like that, so you can find more information. So then the system internal suits, this one is provided by Microsoft. So this is internal tool. It's created, the system internals website. It was created in 1996 by Mark Russinovich to host his advanced system utilities and technical information. So with the tools you can just play around. You can just open the link downside. You can see the bottom of the screen. So you can open that screen. There is a video tutorial hosted by Russinovich. The Mark Russinovich. So he give you a good demonstrate how to use the system internal tools for malware analyze everything. So it's very malware hunting, yeah. So malware hunting, so it's very useful tutorial. So you can just watch the video, so you'll get more idea about that system internal tool. So let's go for the practice exams. I mean the exam preparation questions, example questions. So also known as the package sniffers, these tools help you troubleshoot network issues by gathering package level information across the network. Answer? protocol analyzer. Answer is a protocol analyzer. The second one, Alex is a conduct forensics of a phishing email, so she knows the IP address of the originating email server. What command would show Alex the complete path to that IP address? Answer. Trace it. Trace root command. So that's it, guys, for today's video. For this video, please subscribe my channel, press the bell button, share this video if you like. Thank you so much.